fastest show in sports.
There's a guy named Mark Titus who has a couple of shows on Barstool Sports, which I have to be honest with you right up front, I don't like giving a lot of publicity to. I don't give them any if I can avoid it, because I was there when Barstool Sports was born. I was there when it was a free newspaper in Boston, and I had them on my show Sports Pulse, and they used to come on and talk sports, but then a lot of the stuff came out about their sexist nature, a lot of the thing they said about women, a lot of the thing they said about other players, and I banned them from the show. I wouldn't have them anymore, but I was the first guy to put Dave Portnoy and his group on the air. So I feel...
So you're to blame.
I sometimes take full blame for it that I'm there, but I'm sure that Dave would be very happy because it made him a millionaire. But on Barstool Sports, there's a guy named Mark Titus who absolutely went after SGA. Completely, totally went after him. And I wanted you to see this because here's a guy, and for those of you watching on the YouTube channel, you can see some of the graphic here. For those of you listening in the podcast, I'll help you along. But here's Mark Titus. He's a walk-on at Ohio State. In 4 seasons, the guy played 48 minutes, scored 9 points. He failed a tryout with the Harlem Globetrotters, and his big claim to fame is writing a book about being a bench warmer. But here's a guy, Mike, who comes out and goes, I have zero respect for SGA. Zero. None. I effing hate watching him. I think he's the worst MVP of my lifetime. I think it's a disgusting watch. SGA has zero bag whatsoever, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. But he is going off, and I'm not going to read the whole thing here because it's a complete nonsensical rant from a complete idiot who likes to think of himself as a basketball expert and another one of these screamers on a talk show. And the reason I bring him up is because Bob Ryan of the Boston Globe answered him on Twitter. And when the tweet came out, it's in the lower right-hand corner right here if you see it. Bob Ryan says, who is this shithead? And I got to tell you, I did not get along with Bob Ryan while I was there. I spent 4 years in Boston, and Bob is a very difficult guy to get along with. He has his group, his clan, and everything. People will tell you, Bob's a brilliant writer, absolutely brilliant. But we really didn't get along that well. But in this case, Bob Ryan, I bow to you. Please, you are the hero of the day, because it's about time we started hammering some of this, because a guy like Titus is just doing this for nothing more than clickbait. He wants me to talk about him. He wants you to talk about him. But I'm not going to talk about him in a positive sense. I'm going to hammer away at the guy. He is an absolute, incredibly phony fraud. He's just one of these clickbait artists. He's a troll. And he gets people to talk about him because he says something negative. How can you say anything negative about SGA, Mike? I mean, I'm not even a basketball guy, and I can tell you this guy was brilliant. Has been brilliant this season. But here's a guy who is jealous as shit of the kind of talent that a guy like SGA has and has to make a point of saying how much he hates him. We need a lot less of that in sports than anything else.
You know what? That's a great rant. You know what's funny about that whole thing was when you put up this is how I must just be too old because I had never heard of Mark Titus. I knew Stool Presidente Portnoy because he's been accused of sexual assault, and he's just seems like a rotten human being other than his pizza reviews. And but I will say this. It's interesting because when you put up that graphic of him, I saw like walk on at Ohio State, played 9 minutes in 48 minutes in 9 seasons, scored. I'm thinking failed trial with Harlem Globetrotters. I was thinking, God, SGA, I didn't know all this about his backstory. I thought we were talking about SGA, which actually hooks Mark Titus's column up because I don't, other than he's from Canada, I know nothing about SGA. I think he went to Kentucky or something. I have no idea about S. And so there, whatever, there's a, I mean, he's that, he's the player that time forgot. He shoots inside the 3-point line. He rarely shoots from the 3. He gets to his spots. He's like, he's any jump shooter from the 1980s. He's Bernard King or whatever. He doesn't do anything flashy. He has great body control. he's all the things that basketball was: efficient, economy of movement, all the wonderful things the game was before the dunks and the three-pointers took
He's
over.
without question
And
one of the, if
and
not
his
the
style
best
is so.
players in the
But you're
NBA
right.
right now.
Like you're just trying to get clickbait. If you hate as, I mean, okay, there's sports hate and there's real hate. You really can't stand Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, you're a moron of a human being.
That's all, folks.